It's now day 81 of President Bola Tinubu's administration. In 19 days, he would have spent 100 days in office. Thanks for joining us on the program. I am N5BN Oguntoye. We begin this evening in the nation's capital, where the National Economic Council has approved the release of more food items to the 36 states, as well as the FCT, to reduce the impact of the rising cost of food and other commodities. It's also disclosed at that meeting that the federal government has approved the sum of 5 billion naira for each state for the procurement of food items. Let's get some more details from Femi Akode.
The National Economic Council has continued to roll out more interventions that will cushion the impact of the withdrawal of subsidy payments. Already there is a disruption to the national life with the rising inflation that has caused a spike in prices of food items, transport and other commodities. The federal government has approved 5 billion naira for each state and trucks of food items and other commodities as a stopgap to push back the current economic hardship.
52% of this money is given to states as grants, while 48% of the 5 billion naira is to be paid back on an installment basis within a period of 2 years, 20 months.
The MSME credit, billions and tens of billions that are being pumped into the market, even under this palliative, as it were. MSME receiving about 75 billion. You have the 100 billion agri credit.
The National Economic Council disclosed that the federal government is yet to provide succor to households and communities impacted by the devastating floods of 2022. This is because some governors of the affected states are yet to submit a comprehensive report on the loss incurred.
Right Honorable Aminu Waziri Tambuwal drew the attention of the Council to the devastating effect.
As the implementation of resolutions reached by the country's highest economic body continues across the country, NEC is also getting presentations and inputs from various stakeholders on how to grow the economy and improve the quality of living.
Objectives of microeconomic stability to be one, to have a high and stable economy, to have low inflation, to reduce unemployment.
Border communities between Nigeria and Niger Republic will also get special attention as they grapple with the biting effects of the border closure and the influx of refugees due to sanctions imposed by ECOWAS on the landlocked West African country. Femi Akode, TVC News, Abuja.
Joining me now is Vice President, Nigerian Irish Business Association, Aliyu Audu. Thank you for joining us on the program this hour. 5 billion naira for the procurement of grains, as well as 5 trucks of rice to each state as palliatives. How much impact is this expected to have in real time?
Thank you very much. Well, if well utilized, I think it will go a long way to helping Nigerians in this hardship, unavoidable hardship. Because if the states are supposed to provide the palliatives for Nigerians, as with the 5 billion, I think it will go a long way in helping with transportation costs, because that's where there's a lot of complaint, and foodstuffs as well. You know, we can buy foodstuffs in bulks and in silos and subsidize for the ordinary Nigerian. So I think the federal government has, tried as much as possible to reduce the effect of Nigerians. So it's up to the state governments now to let this trickle down to the, to the common man. And the effect of this, when you putting more money into the economy, it helps to stimulate production. So in effect, this money will go to buy goods. This will encourage producers to produce more. create employment, and stimulate the economy in general. So I think this is a step in the right direction by the presidency, and I would love to see the states adopt the same. Thank you very much.
You seem quite optimistic about it. There are some who would say 5 billion. You divide that by 500,000 people, what you get at least is 10,000 naira. And it's clear what these funds are meant for the procurement of food. But what is the rationale behind sharing these funds equally among states where you consider the sharp difference in population as well as poverty index amongst the 36 states of the country?
Well, I think what you have to look at is the source. I think since it's a new government, that's my thoughts anyway, they're trying to reach out to states in equality and not, bring any, possibly conflict among states. Everybody gets the same amount for them to be able to do something. It's obviously not going to be enough for everybody, but at least it should go a long way to reducing the pains Nigerians are facing. This is a very difficult period of time, and we're expecting, as you said, if it's to go around 10,000 in the kitchen of the common man, it's something. At least it provides some food items, and also let's not forget transportation costs. This also would reduce transportation costs. I believe they're going to make available mass transit buses, which will move people from different areas to another area, around states. So I believe in general, this will go a long way to cushioning the effect of the economic hardship right now. And if well implemented, it should trickle down to the common man. You obviously, we're trying to save money. We have removed subsidies. So I believe there is no money in our safe. And what the federal government is doing is trying to, the little they have, pump it to Nigerians. So it's a difficult time, and we pray that, the palliative sees us through.
Another interesting thing, Mr. Audu, is that this is not entirely free money. 52% of the money is given as grant, but 48% will have to be paid back by all of the state governments in the period of 20 months. How much of an economic burden would that be for some states who are currently struggling in that regard?
Well, as we said before, this is the time for states to go back to the drawing boards and try and generate revenue. Grow your IGR, grow your revenue. There are a lot of states that have leakages. States with solid minerals, they let people to come and take away their, to mine their minerals without proper allocation. We have states that are blessed with agriculture and they're doing nothing about it. So this is the time to look inward, grow your states, grow your resources, grow what you have so that you can generate revenue. We have, Nigeria is a very blessed country. We have no problem complaining. I mean, we don't produce sugar. A lot of countries, African countries are producing sugar. So let's learn from that. And production of sugar, you create jobs. India creates about 6 million jobs from production of sugar. The African Development Bank has told us we can produce sugar. So that's just an example. What states should do. Let's stop relying on federal government allocation. Let's look inward. God has blessed every state in Nigeria with their own resources, whether natural, human, or agricultural resources. We have that. Let's look inwards and build, and I believe we can do that. A lot of countries are doing it. You should start from the state. The governors have to look inward rather than looking at the federal government for all our needs. Thank you very much.
Indeed. We understand, according to the Kaduna State Governor, that only 2 billion naira has so far been given to states, and we're looking forward to the other 3 billion released by the federal government. But on the side of the Anambra State Governor, Professor Charles Soludo, the review of social register upon which this disbursement will be done, according to him, is in progress. But I'm just wondering how concerned you are about the efficiency of state governors to deliver in this regard. Because yesterday, the federal government did say that it's yet to provide succor to some communities impacted by the 2022 floods because some governors of the affected states are yet to submit a comprehensive report on the loss incurred. So people suffered loss as far back as last year, but there's yet no comprehensive report on the part of some state government. How much of expectation do we have of them when it comes to the disbursement of this particular fund for those who need it the most?
Thank you very much. That's a good question. Well, some state governors are active, some are not. And it is expected of the federal government to put some measures in place, punitive measures in place for state governments that are not doing their job. And also, we have civil organizations that should come and speak up. We have the SERAP, we have other civil organizations to speak up against such state governors, because you can't be starving Nigerians. This is a difficult time for Nigerians, and you don't even have a register, a social register, to be able to for your citizens, so that you can provide a palliative. So if such state governors are found wanting, there should be punitive measures for them. And not only civil organizations, even the citizenry, we should rise up against such state governors with all frankness, because you're elected to be in power to serve the people. It's a government for the people, for the people. You have no business doing anything else apart from ensuring that the common man is well taken care of. So shame on those state governors that don't have a social register for their citizenry to be able to administer palliatives at this period of time. And I would call on social organization, civil organizations, and the citizens to rise up against such state governors. And we have a new president that listens. So we are also asking the president to punish such state governments. We should all put hands together. Anyway, any state government that we know is not doing the right thing, yes, we should put hands together and condemn them. I know, Bruno, seeing the efforts Bruno state government is making, they make it, they make it very obvious, and I endure and I try, and I'm begging other state governors to do the same and follow suit. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Considering also that we're already having issues with refugees from the Niger Republic, which according to governors is affecting the distribution of palliatives. We'll see how all of this play out in the coming days. A big thank you for your contribution on the program. I've been speaking with Vice President, Nigerian Irish Business Association, Aliyu Audu. Thank you for talking to us.